Welcome back for another episode of What's in the Box, bitch. This is Autotech, and today we're going to be assembling a Vortex Front Race Stand to complement that rear race stand. So, just like the other one, you cut her open and it looks like a mess of parts. So we're going to have to unwrap all these and then we will put it together. Alright, so you get it all torn apart. You got some miscellaneous hardware. And then you got some miscellaneous pieces. Not going to be too hard to put together. Instructions would have been nice though, because I'm not sure where these are going to go yet. Either way. I did notice though that there is a right leg and a left leg. So I'm not sure what the big difference is there, but they are marked. Alright, so we are going to take this, slide it in there, which isn't always so easy one-handed, and then on these 6mm Allen heads, we're going to put some blue on there, and then we're going to start those. Put these Allen head bolts through those weird plastic things. Little dab of blue on there, and then you're going to thread that up. You want it to look like that. So before you tighten that down, just like the other stand, we're going to start this one so that you have a little bit of an easier time with things moving. And then there's no torque spec for these, so nice and snug sounds about right. Alright, so now you slide it down onto the other leg. A little bit of blue on the Allens, and so get both of them started up and then cinch them down. When it comes to starting these, just start them by hand. Be patient. Like, all you really have to do is just wiggle it around and it will start. Don't go using a air ratchet and just ram them in there and hope for the best. And remember to give these torque to good and snug. God damn it. I just figured out what these are for. Crap. Those go under those bolts and then it looks cool. Ugh. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take one out at a time, and then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reapply a little bit of Loctite onto there, depending on how quick this transpired. But if it's been more than 15 minutes since you tightened those, re-put some more Loctite on there. I was kind of wondering, because I was looking at these and I was like, man, that looks really stupid. Like, why would they have those shoulders on there? Yeah, that's looking a little better, right? So I'm going to have to see if I can edit that in just in a certain way so that people don't screw up and leave these off like I did. Anyways, though, I'm going to go ahead and put them on this side. Okay, so now we're back to where we should have been a couple minutes ago. So now we're going to lay this down like that. And then, let me think here, that's going to grab the bike like so. So get this set up like that. And then you're going to grab those big pins. And I'm going to go from the inside to the outside just so that the those butterfly clips or circlips, I can't remember the technical name of them, aren't inside the area where you'd be working. Alright, so that's how you're going to have that. And you take your clip and you're just going to pop that on or chase it around if you're doing that one-handed. No, that's not how I want it. I want it nicely down the side. Which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do one-handed because it wants to run away on me. So check back in a sec. Like so. That's how I wanted it. It was just tough to do one-handed. So there you have it. The stand is all assembled here. Now we are going to put the pin in. Okay, so here's where you're going to have a slight problem. This kit comes with 5 different size pins. I can't exactly remember all of them off the top of my head. I'd have to, yeah, 17, what is that, 16, 18, 15, and 13. Now, this bike the FJ09 takes a 20 millimeter pin. Now I have a pin ordered up. It's not going to be here for about another week, and I need to get this front tire off now because I'm really impatient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little trick to getting around this situation. Something you can do temporarily if you're in a bind like I am right now. But then from there, once you get the proper size pin, the use of this is very straightforward, considering if you already did it with a socket. So let me show you how to do that. So first things first, you got to pop this little plug out. The FJ and the FZs have a little rubber boot that goes in there. Not a big deal. All right, so if you take a 14 millimeter deep socket, and then you see that's going to be 14 millimeters in there. So you take your 13 millimeter pin, and then this is a little tough one-handed. This is what you're going to want it to look like, and I'm going to show you it installed on the stand, which requires 2 hands. So you're going to have this up, you know, rested against your thigh or whatever. You're going to have 2 hands, so it'll be easy. Slide the pin through. See, nice 13 there, and then you put your other locker through, and then you're going to slip this over top. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can film this. I really need to get a GoPro with a headpiece. Okay, so I've hit a slight snag here. This horn is going to get hit. So I'm thinking my best option is probably just to unbolt the horn. So to unbolt that horn, it's just a 4 millimeter Allen. Not very hard to do. Okay, so as you can see, that pin is up in the steering stem. The socket is just seated on the pin there. We're kind of like this, and then we're gonna just push down, and the tire's not off the ground. Awesome. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, am I using this thing wrong? Like, fuck, that's like just ever so slightly touching. Like, I can, you know, I can kind of rotate it, as you can see, but like, what the hell? Yeah, that's not gonna work for me. Having to put a couple of fucking 2x6s under there. Well, it spins free now, so I'm gonna proceed with what I needed this jack for, or lift, and then I'll be emailing Vortex in the morning, I can tell you that much. But yeah, as you can see, I showed you how to get around that 20 millimeter pin. Just use a 14 millimeter socket, slip it over the end of your 13 millimeter pin, and there you go. Yeah, so make sure you have a couple of 2x6s handy if you're trying to lift an FJ09 with this thing. And just so you can see, my garage floor is level and the back end is up in the air actually. So it's not that it's an uneven floor. So if you ended up with a Vortex stand, this is how you assemble it. And if you have an FJ09, this is how you make it work. If you don't want to spend the 12 bucks for that pin, the socket works. As you can see, you can actually see just a hint of the black of the socket. So I'm actually holding the bike higher than I would if I had that 20 millimeter pin. So that's not the reason why I wasn't getting the lift off the ground. Let me know what front stand you guys use. If you've run into a situation like this where it didn't lift your bike off the ground, what did you do to correct it? A couple of 2x6s, or am I using it wrong? I don't think I am. I've used them before, but maybe I went full retard here. Let me know down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for taking the time and watching.